Good afternoon. It's again time for Stuff God Said and Wants Us to Keep On Saying. I'm going to read from the 19th chapter of the Gospel of St. Luke, and I'm going to read the 9th and the 10th verse. This is a place where we come into the scripture where Jesus had been talking to Zacchaeus and was going to go to Zacchaeus' house for dinner. And all the high religious people were complaining and grumbling. Well, this Zacchaeus was to them one of the worst sinners there could ever be, and they can't imagine that anybody would go and taint themselves by being at a dinner table with this Zacchaeus. And then Jesus looked at Zacchaeus, and he said to Zacchaeus, "Today salvation has come to this house, because Zacchaeus too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost." May the Lord have a blessing to the reading of the Word. When I read that scripture, I can't help but think back when I was in seminary. In order to earn some extra money, I was uh, working as a substitute teacher, and this was in the Washington, D.C. school district. But at any rate, uh, I always got the classes nobody else wanted to be in. And I got a lot of what they called the emotionally disturbed students, ones that had been abused or came from a very difficult situation at home. And it was just really like a war zone sometimes there. One particular time, bell rang and the kids were coming in. There was one little girl came over and she was standing there smiling. I thought, I bent down and I looked at her and I said, "Well, aren't you a sweet little girl?" And just then she drew her foot back and she wailed off and kicked me as hard as she could, kick me right in the shin. And, and I couldn't help it. I just burst out laughing because the situation was so unexpected. It seemed so funny. And she looked up at me and she laughed and skipped off. And I never had any trouble with her the rest of that morning. But I thought, isn't it true when we go out into the world, there are a lot of people who are carrying a lot of emotional baggage. We don't know how damaged people are. We don't know how hurt they are. We don't know how sad, depressed they might be. And a lot of times these people will strike out. But wouldn't it be amazing if we could remember that when that happens to us, that maybe our first thought would be a prayer that comes from our heart saying, "Lord, I don't understand, but this person must really be hurting." And our second reaction would be, if there's anything in the whole world that I could do to make this person's life just a little better today, I wish you let me know and I wish I could help. If we reacted like that, can you imagine just how much of a better day we might have? And can you imagine just how much of a better place we might make that same day? I make a place in that same day. May God bless us. Amen.